My PE teacher turned up to the class and he had a Kalashnikov pointing at us. We soon realised that ethnic cleansing had started. And the real horror started where you realise that the dogs are eating the human flesh. One day my dad stopped me and he said, "It's better that they kill you than a whole village or town." I says, "Dad, can you help? The soldier's going to kill me." And he says, "I can't help you." No one came to see if I'm alive, apart from my dog who smelled my blood. My name is Mirsad Solakovic. I'm an unknown boy who survived genocide in Bosnia. As a child growing up in northwest of Bosnia, it was idyllic. I was in a school with 36 different nationalities. They always believed that we were all the same and there was one God for all of us. And there was no discrimination. Yugoslavia started breaking apart in 1991. It started off with Yugoslavian National Army attempting to overtake Slovenia. Then it spread out to Croatia, and then it spread to Bosnia. And remember, the last day of school, we've been told that we'll finish earlier just for our safety. My PE teacher turned up to the class to deliver his class, and he had a full uniform. And what occurred to me was the Kalashnikov pointing at us whilst we were getting changed in a changing room. And I raised my hand. I said, "Why are you carrying a gun?" And he says, "This is for your protection." I said, "Why are you asking?" He said, "Are you scared?" I says, "I am scared. The gun is pointed at me." And he said, "Solakovic, are you scared because I'm a Serb and I have a gun and I have a uniform?" And this is the first time I've heard the term Serb, a Serbian. As a kid, a 13 years old child at the time, I always thought we were all the same, Yugoslavian. As soon as the war knocked on our door, you found out who is who and who is different, who is the same, what different religion. And all of a sudden, so we were put in different groups. You belong here, I belong there. We were excited to finish school early. As kids, you don't even, I thought, really, truly, I didn't know what war means. I turned up on my doorstep to greet my mother, and all of a sudden the siren for war went off. But all I can sense and hear is that panic. Everybody went onto the streets and they took their necessities. Some people took blankets, some people took pillows, some people took food, some people took silly things, not knowing where to go, what to do. We were attacked by Yugoslavian army, predominantly run by Serbian army. Grenades started falling on our town, and we slept outside of our houses in cornfields, in little ditches, anywhere but not inside the houses. The shelling stopped, but we soon realised that ethnic cleansing had started. So our relatives started coming from the surrounding villages to our village. Within a couple of weeks of war, we run out of food. Everything around us, we've been cut off from media, from any communication from the world. We're in complete blackout. Family members came up with an idea that we should go and hunt animals that are being released by the farmers to feed the families, because we run out of wheat, we run out of flour, we run out of basic ingredients to cook. And don't forget, the army would constantly come in quite often, and people don't give them bags of flour or sugar or salt or oil. they get taken away, they get killed, they get murdered, they get brutally beaten up. When we were going to neighbouring villages, there was a river called Rika, and this is where we were literally exposing ourselves, being shot by the sniper. The real horror started where you walk around bushes or ditches, and the smell of a person that's been murdered started being so strong that you couldn't breathe by it. And the next minute you realise that the dogs are eating the human flesh. One day when we literally stumbled in a massive ditch with two young lads, and their heads been captivated and put on their laps, and they sat down. For the first time, all three of us were literally horrified with fear. And all you think at that time, well, this could be us. During the war, you literally cannot trust no one. I remember an old elderly man who lived in a village, and he was related to us. One of the soldiers came and asked him information, and he literally had a go at the soldiers, pointed at me saying, "What do you want from us elderly people? We haven't done anything wrong." He says, "These young people, get them. They know everything, they got all the information." And that's when I realised everybody's fearing for themselves. Everybody's trying to save themselves. One day my dad stopped me and he said, "We're in lots of dangers. People are dying. Half of our family's been killed. Somebody questions you, and depending on what you say, they might murder you. But if you keep silent, you might have a chance of surviving, and we might have a chance of surviving." So I said to my dad, "Well, I don't think it's fair to put that on a child, because I'm only 13, for God's sake, and I haven't done anything wrong." I remember him saying, "It's better that they kill you than a whole village or town." The army, on daily basis, they would interrogate us, ask us questions. They'd be coming looking for different people. When my PE teacher came looking for me, it's almost like you're in a class full of children and you get isolated and somebody points out, "You come out." And he says, "Here we are, Mr. Solakovic. I'm back here with Kalashnikov in my full uniform." As a child, you feel you're always protected by adults. But what literally gave away that feeling is my parents. My mom went into epileptic shock. She fainted, and all her family members scattered all around her, covering her. And I was confused, why they're doing that? They were literally shielding her pain, because the more pain my mother had, they had more incentive to kill me. Now I'm looking at the eyes of my father, and I'm going through my head what he was saying. The words can kill you, but the silence might save you. So it started off politely. My dad said, "Do you want a drink?" And he said, "Yeah, we'll have a drink." So all these soldiers, including my teacher, they have a drink. There were 5 soldiers, fully armed, all around me. And when they brought my dad in front of me, I found safe. I found it. My dad's here. Told my dad to put his head down. He's kneeling in front of me. The teacher says to me, "Ask your dad for help." She says, "Dad, can you help me?" And they were laughing. My dad turns around and says, "Son, I can't help you." I says, "Dad, can you help me? This soldier's going to kill me." And he says, "I can't help you." They're laughing again. At the same time, they're all drinking. They're getting drunk. And I remember my first cousin that came, and she was very brave. She said, "What you doing to him? What has he done?" And that minute my auntie comes down, she sweeps her away. She says, "This has got nothing to do with you. Go inside the house." Even today, that sentence from my favourite auntie kills me. It's such an unfair scene that you have to really thinking, she's literally swept her daughter away, trying to save her, to take away from me. And I'm thinking, but what about me? At that point, they've asked my dad to leave. As they're getting tipsy and drunk, they play these games for fun. They play with people's lives for fun. The teacher standing there says, "You sure? You want to give us any information? If you give us information, we'll save you, we'll save your family, everybody will be safe. If not, you're going to die right now." I'm just keeping quiet. I think the silence is that strong that I can feel even my heartbeat. I closed my eyes because I couldn't bear it no more. I wanted a quick death. And when a soldier shot, he says, "I've got him now." My mum thought, because she couldn't see me behind the ditches, she saw I was killed. And her sound, it's just got stronger. Everybody heard, they killed my child. And I've heard that. At that point, I've collapsed and I've fallen on the floor. And he says, "Yeah, we got him, we killed a rabbit." There's a rabbit that just run across and they shot a rabbit. And they laughed about it. And then one young soldier, he had shades, he had the sunglasses, he come up to me, he says, "Little Turk bastard." He says, "If you change your religion to Christianity, you can live." And I just kept quiet. And every soldier was trying to prove themselves who can do the deadliest game with a child and have a laugh about it. And one soldier came there to unpin both of his hand grenades and handed it over to me. But the teacher's saying, if you want to live, if you want to survive, hold them tight. And this is when I was literally crying loudly, holding him like Jesus on a cross with my arms open, and then closing my arms in, asking for help. I said, "Please, help me. I haven't done anything wrong. Why me? Why are you choosing to kill me? I'm just a child." And the soldier came towards me. And when he puts the pin back, I'm still holding him and literally crying. He takes him off me. And I fall down. And the other soldier comes with an idea to strip me naked, to go through the bushes to look for weapons. And my cousin had an army belt that's hidden in the bushes. So as I went completely naked through those thorns on my feet, on my soles, everywhere, I found the army belt. He says, "You little bastard, you've lied to us. There's army weapons here, there's bullets here, there's everything." And when they start hitting me with that belt on my back, I feel that pain even today when the weather changes. I was lying in a puddle of my own blood. The soldiers went 20 minutes ago. No one came to see if I'm alive, apart from my dog who smelled my blood. And he almost sniffed me and ran to the family. Literally gave him that sign. He's alive, he's breathing. That's where my family came. They hugged me and kissed me.
Did your feeling towards your father change in that moment?
I never trusted him. It took me longer to forgive my father than the soldiers who tortured me. I realized he was a very intelligent man and he wanted the best for all of us. The more fear he demonstrated in front of the soldiers, they would have more reasons to kill us. But it's very tough to accept that. It's very hard to just put a brave face on and say, yeah, I just left my own child on his own to handle 5 soldiers who tortured me. The soldiers then came and evacuated all of us to my school, which became a concentration camp. I've seen my teachers that turn into camp guards. It was a first aid room in our school that turned into interrogation room where people literally were tortured. I was there again, questioned, beaten up. And all I remember in that room was a room full of smoke and the white walls were plastered with people's blood. After I've been tortured again and beaten up in that interview room, I went back, and as soon as my mom seen her face, this is they caught him again. And that's the last time my mom let me go even to toilet by myself until the war ended. From the day when I was tortured to this point now, I always thought, and I'm waiting for this day when my parents will sit me down, or any family members. There were 22 family members that heard the noises when I was tortured. Nobody has ever, even my sister has asked me, what happened on that day when you get tortured? Never.
And you never started that conversation?
Never. Even the relative who was very close to the girl that came and stood up by, I wrote 2 books. Nobody commented on it.
Do you think that you could ever heal?
No.
No.
Never. My heart will never recover. We'll never be able to be the same.